You know what would be better than watching this commercial? Watching your commercial. Join the party that is Make Your Day Richer TV by advertising your brand, business, or project during the show. Use us to promote what you're doing to make our viewers' day richer. Scan the QR code or visit makeyourdayricher.com/advertising to start promoting today.
Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
Oh, they're still clapping. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate all 102,000 views and downloads of the show. My goal was to hit 100 by January 1st, and here we are. It's not even the 1st, and we're at 102,000. So thank you all to everybody who watches, who shares, who likes it. Now's a great time to press that share button and get other people to watch so we can, I don't know, hit 105,000 by the 1st. All right. Also, thank you to Andrew. Our number one show last week was Andrew, the Haiku of Healing. Go check that out, would you? Along with all the other shows. They're all amazing, but our number one viewed show, most viewed show last week was Andrew and the Haiku of Healing. So congratulations to that. Let's see. What else do I have to tell you? It was a very not exciting weekend. However, I just want to say thank you to Jake and Cameron from ISI Indian Land. We left ISI Indian Land in July of this year. Not for any really big reason, but we left, and they made it possible for us to come back, and so we started going back on Sunday. And I am sorry, I almost threw up multiple times during that workout. We're back. So thank you to Jake and Cameron. Jake has been on this show before. Jake actually, I believe, has our highest rated show since we started this program. And Cameron, who owns the Indian Land location. So thank you both for doing the work to get us back there. Hey, who has Amazon gift cards that you need to use? Because if you do, you can go right to our website. Where is it? Right to our website. Where did it go? There we go. makeyourdayricher.com/shop. And there's a whole little list of stuff that I love, that I use every day, that I've given as gifts, that people have given me, and that I think you might like. So go to makeyourdayricher.com/shop and use those Amazon gift cards, would you, on something fun for yourself or, for someone else. All right, let's get to today's show, shall we? Because Steph is here, and I'm very excited for you to meet her, all right? Like me, as you all know, this is my story. Ever declare something you were going to be when you grew up? Let's start that over. See, this is rewind. Ever declare something you were going to be when you grew up and then taken a slightly different path? My guest today did just that. After exploring law and the corporate world, she's now fulfilling her childhood dream of being an author. She's the creative mind behind books like Camp Click and The Accidental Trouble Magnet, bringing wit and warmth to stories that resonate with young readers. So please welcome Steph Katzovi. Where are you? Katzovi. It's it helps me with my Wisconsin accent to have that O in there, Katzovi.
Yeah, I like.
Where are you from, Steph?
Well, I'm from Poughkeepsie originally, and my maiden name was Cohen, Cohen. So easy, rolls off the tongue. And then my married name is a much more challenging European name. And in the interest of having people be able to pronounce it by looking at a book cover, I took off some of the extra letters. Apologies to my husband and his relatives. Yes.
We love him. We love the family, but we need to sell some books. Yes.
Especially children.
Yes. When did you start writing? I mean, it sounds like you've been writing since you were born.
You know what? If I could hold a pencil, I probably would have been. I have always loved writing. When I was a kid, I had one of those black and white composition notebooks that I would
Yeah.
fill with my scribblings. And, at the time, I'm sure what I thought was amazing. There was a period of
Mhm.
time in my teens where I was writing music, and I know for a fact that that was horrible, but it was, it was something, a way to express my creativity and outlet for angst and all the stuff that comes with the trappings of youth. But for me, when I was little, I was, getting a lot of positive feedback from my teachers that I was a really creative, clever person. And so that sort of just fed into the passion that has been growing over the years. And then as my post law school career, I became a professional business writer. And so I got to use the more practical side of my brain and write in an organization where you had to be a little more serious and buttoned up. But, always in the back of my mind, I was hoping I could come back to being a creative writer. And, it
And
only
you
took,
did.
one childhood and several more years on top of that to write a book. So here we are.
Was there any time that you ever wanted to be anything else but?
It's funny because I went to law school and I knew I wasn't going to be a practicing attorney. And, writing was always what I gravitated towards. The classes that I did best in law school were advanced legal writing and legal research, which are both of the writing arms. And, you know, that's just what I've always been drawn to. And I don't think I ever really thought that there was another world outside of my writing world. But, I balanced it with professional and practical. So, writing was always there. And now it's even more front and center, I guess.
Yes. Tell everybody about your books. They're so good. And your website, go to Steph's website because it's such a bright, fun place to be.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kudos to my website designer, but my books, they're kind of like the common adolescent themes that so many people go through, and frankly, adults still struggle with. But it deals with the challenges of friendship and doing the right thing and being kind and spreading, a positive message for kids and, adult readers alike. And then the other part of my writing world is that I discovered how much I loved blogging. And so I have
Mm.
two blogs, one from my perspective where I have reflections back on childhood experiences and the lessons that I've learned from them. And I try and inject as much humor as possible into my awkward, uncomfortable life experiences. And then my second blog is told in the voice of the main character from my books. Her name is Noodle Newman. And so she's kind of like the child version of doling out advice to her friends based on her own foibles and mishaps and misadventures. And so many of them are loosely based on things that my kids do. So when I read them out loud, they each figure out who the story is about and what the learning message is that I put in for them. But it's so great that they get broader messages about what I see as great life lessons, and they get them almost real time in the form of a blog. So it's a little bit less direct of you should have done this or that was a great thing that you did. So, it's just a really fun way to express myself in different mediums. And I never thought I would like blogging, but turns out it's like writing a short story. So it's really a very
Yeah.
fun writing exercise for me.
How often do you put, in the which another thing, technology, we were having some troubles before we started
Mhm.
recording this, and I'm awful with technology. And part of the SEO thing that people throw out that I don't understand either is
Mhm.
that you're supposed to have a blog and update it. How often do you, since you're doing two of them, how often do
Yeah.
you put new blogs out?
I do it once a month, and I have
Mm.
that as my aspirational goal. And I think I only missed my 1 month deadline that is self-created once because we were moving. And so I was like, okay, you can put it up 1 week late. I'm sure that my readers will forgive me. And I'm
Di-
fairly certain they did. But once a month for two blogs. So you get two bangs for the buck.
That's fun. Are the books at all based on your kids, or
The
they're
Yes and no. My very first book that I started writing in my head before my kids were born were based on an experience that I had. The books, Miscommunicamp and Hurricamp, take place at a sleepaway camp. And so the first book, Hurricamp, was based on my own experiences going away to camp. And frankly, I did not enjoy it, and I didn't have a great experience. And so
I didn't either. I went to one camp, hated it. Yeah.
yes, and so I never went back, and I regret that I didn't give camp another chance and that I didn't expand my mind and be a little bit more open to the experiences that would have awaited me had I been a more open-minded and positive child. Instead, I was like, I'm homesick. I want to go home. I hate the food. I hate everything. So it's my chance to rewrite history in an ending that I wish that my real life had had. And then in my second book, and hopefully in my third, I take an idea that I have, and then I supplement it with my own kids' experiences and their friends' experiences. And whoever tells me about something that happens in their lives, they may find it echoed in a fictional book.
Yeah, when you have kids, I suppose you could have an entire library full of stories because
honestly, yes, it really is. You would think that after a while that the stories would run out, but there's always something funny or noteworthy. And maybe it's not unique to my children, but they always have something that makes me laugh. And I'm like, that would make a great story.
Having that kind of them sort of their stories in the book, does it make them feel kind of famous that they're like written about in books?
My youngest son had come up with a character name, and I said, I'll put that in my third book. And he's like, I want a share of the profits. I was like, okay, future businessman, how about just like, I'll put you on the top in the acknowledgements. He was okay with
how
that.
about I let you live in the house?
Right. How about you enjoy the dinner that I made?
Yeah, you are getting the profits, sir, I promise.
Yes, exactly. But, I
That's
think
funny.
they love seeing their ideas and suggestions. It's almost as if like they wrote it themselves, but I get to be their pen, if you will. So it's amazing. And having a 14 and 11-year-old boy makes life very interesting. So I'm happy that
I think the stories are only going, you're only going to have more stories coming.
I know.
Where can people get the books?
They are on almost every online retailer. So Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, Walmart. There's some in Europe if you're listening from Europe, Blackwell's. So if you go on my website, there are a great number of links you can click on and see where it takes you.
Okay, good. You've been writing for so long, and how does it feel now to be putting stuff out there for the public? Was there pressure behind the books and even the blog, that people are reading it? How does that feel?
Honestly, I'm kind of a private person, and by nature, I'm quite shy and introverted, though you wouldn't know it because here I am on your amazing podcast. But, it's almost for me like this is my challenge in life, is to come out of my shell. And writing similarly, it's like for me, a experience when I wrote when I was a kid, or, as I was growing up, I didn't really think that there was an audience. And so I wrote as honestly and humorously as I could. But now when I write a book, I'm like, well, why would I want it to sit on a shelf? I'd rather have people learn from it, enjoy it, take the messages that I'm putting out there. And so it was really scary, to be honest. Like my first book in particular, and I was wondering, like, are people going to like it? Are they going to think I'm, this ridiculous person thinking she has creativity and she's clever and she's funny? And I got really good feedback. I won a few awards, and so I was like, okay, there's my validation. And so it gets easier each time a little bit because I'm feeling all right. I have an audience. I have people that I know enjoy my book. I have podcasts that I go on where I get to meet amazing people like you, and so it's just kind of amazing and how it's propelled me into a whole new world that I wouldn't have imagined, writing in my composition notebook when I was a kid, scribbling away my unintelligible handwriting, hoping someday someone might enjoy my work. But here we are.
Yeah, that now there are people like, when is the third book coming? Like that they're,
right.
That has to feel so good. So when is the third book coming is really the question.
That's the tough one. So I've outlined it. I'm an obsessive planner. So I've worked really hard on coming up with a good outline. And now that we're in December, I'm like, oh, well, Thanksgiving just happened. Then the winter holidays are here. So I think January 1st, well, maybe January 2nd, I'll give myself one extra day. Right around the new year, I plan to bang something out, and hopefully in the next year or so, I'll have something else to come back and share with you.
How long? Yes. And please come back. Please.
I hope so.
Okay, good. How long does it take you usually? Has it taken you from start to finish of a book?
It's a lot longer than I had originally expected. Like I thought I would write a book, I'd revise it like once or twice, and it would already be in great shape. And then, off to the races, time to publish.
Yes, a
As it
cover would magically appear. And yeah.
Yes. As it happens, the writing process is not always quick. My second book, I wrote a lot faster than the first book. I think I learned a lot in how to write, how to prepare. And so my second book took me about 6 to 7 weeks to write because I had already outlined so much of it. But then the editing process is quite slow and annoying, I guess, because you finish this first draft and you think it's fantastic, and then I have somebody help me with the editing process, and she's found a lot of ways to improve the story. And so it's gone through more than 2 iterations. And so after revising it so many times, I would say it takes about 18 months or so from when you finish it, because then you have to do layout. And for me, I have about 8 illustrations in the book. So we've got to figure out what those illustrations are, and then the preparation for publishing and distribution. And it's not as glamorous as I thought, where you just like send it off and like someone runs through the streets with a copy of your book, and then all of a sudden you're in like a major bookstore doing book signings and a glamorous book tour. That that doesn't exactly happen, but perhaps for somebody it has, but not for me. So we'll see. Maybe the third book will be that magical experience.
What do you love about the entire experience?
I think it's, for me, a little bit about, is this going to turn out in a way that I'm happy and I'm proud of? And is it something that will make people laugh and learn something from? And it's almost a little bit scary because I create these very high expectations for myself, and I wouldn't share it with the world if I wasn't thrilled with how it came out. And so there's a little bit of a tension as you write, but it's also just so joyful to sit at my desk and just let thoughts and words pour out and see where they land on a page. And then hopefully when I go back and look at it later, I'm still happy with it.
Yes. And especially after 18 months of like working with something,
Right.
At some point you have to be like, okay, this is done.
Right.
Now let's move on.
Right.
Yeah.
You can always find something that you would want to just tweak just a little bit. And maybe I could have said this differently or put in the instead of but yeah, at some point you just have to say, done, pencils down, off to the presses.
What's your advice for someone who maybe has just gotten into writing or has been writing forever and is afraid to publish their first book?
Well, I can tell you I've been on that side of the fence, and I think perseverance is a good piece of advice, but I would also say believe in yourself, do the work that will take to get the book to the place that you think you would be most proud of for others to see. And don't give up. I mean, the world may not be knocking down your door now, but hopefully with enough great work that you put into it, they will be. Or, it'll create a buzz, and the internet world will take it into a whole other stratosphere than you could have ever imagined. I think that's a lot of people's hopes and dreams, but, put out a product that you're proud of. Product as in work, our body of work, and stick with it. Don't give up. Keep pushing. If you believe in something, that's what will propel you to that next level.
I love that. What do you love most about your life right now?
I think that I have the flexibility to do what I love, and also to be with my kids, and just have a balance that I might not have had if I had been still in the world of corporate speech writing, which was a phenomenal experience. And I think because I did it, I got to do what I'm doing now. Like I put in the work to hone my writing skills, and I'm fortunate for my husband, who, if he's listening, I thank him for his support and for encouraging me to take that leap, for leaving a job that was an amazing job to do something where the results weren't guaranteed. So, having the support of your family is incredible. And I'm very, very full of gratitude in this season of gratitude to have that.
That's so amazing when you get to, it's work. It's still work, even though you love what it is, but it's so nice to wake up and love to go to work.
Right. I mean, I have a home office, so I can literally roll from one part of the room to the other. Not that I would, the floor is clean, but it's great. Like I always wanted to write, and like here I am getting to do what I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
And not everybody has that opportunity, or you have to juggle
It's
it with
true.
7 zillion other things, which by the way I also do. But you make it work. If this is what your passion is, and this is what you want to do, and what makes you happy and brings you joy, then you find ways to make it work. And I
It's
think
true.
we're all trying to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. What is the best way that people can connect with you and follow you?
I would say go to my website, www.stephkatzovi, STEPHKATZOVI.com. And there are ways you can reach me on the website. I can let you know when things are coming on my blog. Anyone that wants to reach out to me, I would welcome it. I love connecting with people. I love meeting people. I love talking to people. And, that's kind of why I do what I do, is to reach people and be exposed to folks that I might not necessarily meet in my everyday life. And so
Yeah.
that's
And
the
go
most
buy her
important thing.
books.
Oh yeah, that too. That would be great.
Miscommunicamp, Hurricamp. Who would you say like the age group for the books?
Middle grade, so 8 to 12. But it's a very PG positive book, so it's great for reading out loud. And there's enough, adult humor that's PG that I think grown-ups would enjoy as well. So I would say 8 to 12, but 0 to 130 also.
Give or take. Give or take.
Yes,
Yeah.
give or take, maybe 129.
Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you. This was such a fun morning. It was great
Well,
talking to you.
come back anytime. Grab your coffee and come hang out anytime
All
you
right,
want.
I got it right here.
All right, good. Go get Steph's books. Go to her website. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back after this.
Tired of harsh chemicals in your home? Let's change that. At EcoGlow Cleaning, we bring eco-friendly expertise right to your doorstep. We will make your day richer by bringing a glow to your home or office. For over 20 years, EcoGlow Cleaning has been the trusted choice for professional cleaning services in the Charlotte area. From deep cleaning to regular maintenance, EcoGlow Cleaning offers a wide range of services. All services are tailored to your needs and schedule. Our eco-friendly products ensure a healthy and safe environment for you and your family, including your pets. For a free quote, visit our website at www.ecoglowcleaning.com or give us a call at 704-777-9768. EcoGlow Cleaning is a proud sponsor of Make Your Day Richer TV.
On tomorrow's show, Kristen Duffy is here. She is the founder of Slackline Productions, which is a production company that gives voice to women creators and stories, usually over 35 years old, because there's a lack of that. And so true artist, she went and created a space to do that. So Kristen will be here to talk all about that. Hey, thanks for watching. Now's another good time to go press that share button or that like button or that heart button and go make your day richer. Go make someone else's day richer. You've made mine for watching this show, and I love you for it. And we will see you tomorrow with an all new show, our final show of 2024. See ya.